lovely to see you here. Just allowing the energy of the crystal bowls to just bring us in to gather. So just let the sounds of the bowls come to you. They're like a balm on the heart. And I was just listening to a conversation with John Bolio, who speaks so much of the power of vibration, the power of sound to uplift, rebalance, heal. Such fast changing times, particularly here in the UK. In the course of a week, we have a new Prime Minister and a new King. These are particularly from the passing of Queen Elizabeth. These are big changes in the framework of our lives, in the matrix of our sense of our connection, regardless of whether you're a royalist or not. The change is palpable. And so it feels to me that this heralds a period of sustained change that we will be going through for the next few months. And therefore each one of these full and new moons will have import, will have something that it is sharing with us that will help us guide our own little lights in this next piece of the passage. We are all on a pathway home to ourselves at some level. And what can be revealed through these times of great change, but also these moon phases, this beautiful, beautiful, bright moon that we have right now that is on the axis of Virgo and Pisces. This dance between earth and water. And actually in the UK here, we've had the last week of consistent rain on parched earth. So there has been a shift in the energy that we've experienced through much of the summer. And what is going to change for us in these coming days and weeks as we move to the equinox. And I'm very well aware that the equinox is opening up a portal that will take us through to the solstice. And the solstice this year feels to be supercharged. So I do know that these are intense times for us to navigate, whether that's through being aware of the frequency change and how that's affecting our physical bodies and our emotions, perhaps our digestive systems and our sleep. Much is changing, and yet we are being asked to hold center, to find this place of being reminded of the breath, of being able to find a place in which we can ground, places where we can connect with nature, places where we can just allow ourselves to rest and integrate. Each one of us, of course, will have certain tools and technologies of light that we have a preference to, whether that's swimming, whether that's running, whether that is I've been exploring this Wim Hof breath work and the cold, finishing the showers with cold water. And every time I go, oh, I don't know whether I really want to do this. But each time I am gifted with the sense of clarity and feeling quite proud of myself actually for actually having done another day, and actually it does get easier. But these are ways in which we can shift the frequency of what we believe is even possible for us, and that then opens up a different potential for what we might engage with in a future timeline. So these are really, really potent times to be engaged very consciously. And of course the temptation is to disconnect, but these are the opportunities to engage very consciously with what we are wanting to create. You know, what is it that is for you non-negotiable? What is it for you that is beginning to create a vision of what it is that you would love to experience as life here on the earth? Because the old patterns and the old programs have got to dissolve. They have to dissolve and allow something new to be born. But we are the key holders. We are the visionaries and the vision holders. Each one of us that can take a part in what it is that we are able to vision forward to. What do you want to experience? What is it that would make life joyful, easeful, graceful? These are the things that we now need to focus on, because that's what we can manifest. That's what we can bring into being. My sense is that we've got a few tricky months to navigate. And I feel that as we go into 2023, things will be a lot clearer in how this is all going to unfold and what pieces actually we have come to play in it. I can remember in one of the channeled guided writings that I did just a few weeks ago, the guidance was to be aware of what we think we're here for. And yet we really haven't been given the full picture yet. And so many of us are incubating gifts that will be essential as we go into 2023. So maybe as we go into the equinox energies, you would be able to spend some time in reflection of what it is that is still calling for you. And maybe, if there are still some patterns that want to be worked with, that are still coming up and are offering you some more juice. Oh, thank you for the hearts. That's really lovely. Because I can't see who's on tonight. Facebook has changed the algorithms again and the way that actually lives can be done. And I can't see who's on the call this evening. Not very helpful. I shall have to find out what they've done with the messaging. Anyway, let's have a look and see what the wisdom of the roses has got to offer us for this upcoming period. And I'm really seeing this as being the period between now and equinox. I know we have a new moon on the 25th, just after equinox, But this feels to be a really potent period to bring reflection to. There are some big shifts in this time ahead. So let's see what the roses have got to offer us. So the first rose that has come forward here is Rose Angel 10. And this beautiful, beautiful rose is one of the rose angels, and she sits in the base and second chakra in the body. And she is one of the roses that transmutes the heart wound of abandonment. And what she calls us to is the salve of self-love, self-value, self-esteem. I am worthy and I am enough. So she is calling us really to embrace ourselves, our journey. It does feel to me that as we go through this year and towards the end of the year, that actually so much of our past journey will have almost faded into the ethers, into the mists behind us, and that we will be really encouraged to forward face. So she is saying, what else do you need to do for self-care? What else is there here that wants to be brought attention to, where you are not still honouring yourself? And sometimes there is a pathway in which we have to put self first, and self first isn't always selfish. The base and second chakra of the body sit as the very foundation. If we do not have self-love, self-value, self-esteem, we cannot rise through the energy centers of the body to connect heaven on earth. We are caught in an unstable base. So this rose is really saying, you know, she's an invitation. You know, she's one of the roses that's got a petal down, inviting you in. And she is just, you know, a beauty that says, honor yourself, bring self-love, self-esteem, self-value into absolutely everything that you hold dear, and that you are a treasure. So you might want to just put a hand on your higher heart and just breathe that in. I am enough. I am worthy. And just have a quick tune in and see if there is anything that she is offering you by way of a reminder that you can take some time to just self-nurture. You know, whether that's just making a beautiful smoothie for breakfast tomorrow morning, or just taking some time for breath work, or maybe like me, exploring what it's like to be to turn that shower dial to cold, and you know, and to just take a step to bring something different, bring a different experience, a different opportunity in your life. When we step forward, there is always the opportunity for the universal wisdom to match us, to come forward, to meet us, if you like, because it's a sacred dance. Every time we step forward to change and to consciously change, the universe will come in to support that process. So, but it behoves us to make that first step, that first change. So here she is. She is absolutely a beauty. So I've just seen a message, Romella. I don't think I could do a complete cold shower, Romella. I do a normal shower first and then I turn it to cold at the end and count quite loudly. But it is really an amazing feeling. There is a clarity and a real sense of presence that comes from it. So it is recommended if you can bear to give it a go. Let's see what else the roses might have to offer us as their wisdom. for this time. So we're being invited to consider this pathway of self-love, self-value. Let's just see what the second rose might be. And the second rose is Rose Mare 7. And Rose Mare 7 is all about receptivity. So this rose calls us, and the I am statement, anything that follows I am is already in manifestation. And this rose says, I am receptive. So many of us are really good at giving, but we are not so great at receiving. And what this rose is saying is that there has to be giving and receiving. It's like the in-breath and the out-breath of God. We have to receive the breath before we can gift the breath. And this is part of opening out to the abundance that's possible for us in this upcoming time. Perhaps you're being called to let go of something. That could be an old pattern. It could be stuff. It could be that you know there is a clearing process. Often comes with Virgo, and we have a Virgo Pisces axis on this full moon. So maybe there is something here that you could refine. Refine and align was a byword for last year that was very strong in, you know, letting go of stuff, letting go of old stories, letting go of old patterns. What's done? What's given its juice? What allows you to be open and receptive for something new? And again, you know, this piece of the visionary, it's interesting, in my Rose Heart Inner Mastery circle, we have moved to the place of compassion. We have moved through this journey of the visionary and surrender into the place of compassion and the compassionate heart. But the process of getting us there took us into being able to receive downloads, receive guidance, and then not have to know what, you know every detail of the outcome, but to be able to surrender, to allow things to be received and to be manifest through that. So here she is. She's reminding us, you have to open to receive. You have to ask. Our guides won't come forward unless we ask. Those of you that work with the angelic realms will know that actually the angels can't step in unless you ask. So this openness is on lots of different levels. This is a very powerful rose to be working with at this time that can really help us to feel abundant and in the flow. That dance of living, of giving and receiving. It's like the ocean with every wave gives to the shore and then receives back. Gives out to the shore and receives back. So this is calling us to look and be reflective. What else? What else needs to clear for me to open to receive? What old story? Perhaps about worthiness. We come back to this. I am worthy, I am enough. I am worthy to receive. So perhaps again, you can put your hand on your higher heart. Just tune into this rose and ask her if there's any wisdom she has for you. Is there any way in which you need to open at a new level in order to receive? So shall we see what the third rose is that wants to come forward? You know, we are now moving towards the deepening of the winter, which is a drawing within. It is a coming in to be resourced, to rest. And so again, we are being called to come in and receive, and to look at what else is being called for self-care. So, and the third rose this evening is Master Rose 3. Now this rose is really, really beautiful. She calls herself the Golden Flame. I'm not too sure what happened there, but I think I lost connection. Anyway, this is Master Rose 3, the Golden Flame. And so the 3 Master Roses sit on the crown, and they weave the masculine, feminine energies. And what is birthed between the 2 of them is the Golden Flame, which connects into the pineal gland. This rose is very much about expansion, and she is about the verticality of the connection. She is a really powerful and beautiful rose to work with. It is just opening us out to our connection with the divine. A high accelerator. So just breathe her in, the Golden Flame, and you may feel her in your heart, you may feel her at your crown, you may feel her connecting into your third eye. But she is a reminder of our connection and our verticality to Source. And in the Christic tradition, she would be the connection into the Divine Child, the pure, innocent connection to Source, which brings us well-being, wellness, and allows for this golden energy to be received in every cell of the body. So, there's our 3 roses for this evening. Rose Angel 10, calling us in to reflect self-love, self-value, self-esteem. I am enough, I am worthy. Connecting into the base and 2nd chakra. I am receptive. A reminder that the saying is ask and it shall be given. So we have to be open to receive. And this connection with the Golden Flame, bringing balance to masculine, feminine, bringing an alignment. You know, at another level, she is the rose of sacred union. She is the rose of bringing a weave and a balance between the right and left-hand hemispheres of the brain, the right and left-hand sides of the body. So she's bringing polarization into unity. Very beautiful roses to work with as we move into this last few days as we move towards the equinox. So what else have I got to share? I have opened up the Rose Crone Circle again, and we will be running it for a year. Details are on the Rose Alchemy website. And it fully activates on the equinox, and our first meeting is on the 28th. It's a powerful, wise elder group, and we will be sharing wisdom as we move through into this new era. An era is unfolding that is going to take us into a new experience of being here on the earth, and to come into community and to be able to share wisdoms of all traditions feels really powerful. So we would have one webinar every month with a particular focus, and this will be for a sharing of the wisdom teachings as we experience them, and of course through the roses. What else? The Rose Temple here, the new Rose Temple in Avalon, is nearly ready. We've still got a little bit of work to do in the temple space before it can be fully activated. But I'm really looking forward to working with in-person groups again here. And from the autumn equinox, all 7 levels of the rose classes, how you can work with and train to work with all of these beautiful alchemical energies, these rose codes of light, will all be ready. It's been very slow coming together, but we are nearly there to have all 7 levels up together, and there is an optional accreditation to be a rose alchemy therapist in amongst that mix. So there's some really lovely, exciting things occurring. And also I'm back in the New Forest 2 weeks today, offering a sacred sound bath and working with the roses, a sacred journey with the roses at the retreat in near Christchurch. And so there will be more information of that coming actually out on the newsletter. And if you haven't already done so, do sign up for my newsletter that I put out every month. That has all the updates and news, and also these videos are also going up on YouTube. So if you are minded to, do subscribe to me on YouTube as well. So I can see a few more faces here, which is really nice. So just listen to the sounds and remember that the roses that came forward this time just call us for kindness to self, kindness and compassion to self, and opening to receive. We have to remind to receive. It's really lovely talking about the rose crone. This is the grandfather alchemy bowl, and here is the grandmother alchemy bowl. Sacred union of the wisdom of the elders. Thank you for joining me. I'm very grateful that you were able to join this evening, and I hope that some of the wisdom of the roses has been helpful. And if you have the Rose Oracle, I really suggest that you find these 3 roses and perhaps put a glass of water on them so that you can work with the energy of these 3 and be able to drink the energetically charged water. So thanks for joining me. Much love and rosy blessings, and I will be back probably for the equinox and to do another rose reading and work with the bowls then. Much love and rosy blessings. Bye for now. Bye bye.